Hello, friends. On July 10, 2026, a new federal housing law quietly took effect, and buried inside it are 6 separate breaks worth thousands of dollars to renters and homeowners 65 and older. Nobody is mailing you a check, and that's exactly why most seniors will miss every one of them. Stay with me until number 6, because that's the one almost everyone gets completely backwards. Number 1. The home repair money. The new law, called the 21st Century Road to Housing Act, creates a HUD pilot program that funds whole home repair programs run by your state, your city, or your tribe. Here's the part that matters. Those programs hand out grants and forgivable loans, money you do not pay back, to homeowners and landlords for repairs and modifications. Think about what that covers for someone aging in place. A leaking roof, a dying furnace, grab bars, a ramp, a bathroom you can actually use safely. Say your roof needs $8,000 of work you've been putting off for 2 winters. Under a forgivable loan, that $8,000 can simply be erased over time as long as you stay in the home. That's the whole design of these programs. Why did Congress do this? Because the cheapest affordable housing in America is the house a senior already owns, and repairs are what force people out of them. Now the mistake that will cost people real money. Paying a contractor out of pocket first, then discovering their county had a repair program the whole time. Grant programs almost never reimburse work that's already done. So the move is the opposite of what feels natural. Before you sign any repair contract, call your state housing agency and your local housing office and ask one question. Do you run a home repair or home modification program? And is new federal pilot money coming? Get your name on the list early, because pilot programs fund the people who applied first, not the people who needed it most. Number 2. Manufactured homes just got cheaper, and existing owners get help too. For decades, federal rules forced every manufactured home to be built on a permanent steel chassis, a trailer frame the home never actually uses again once it's installed. The new law eliminates that chassis requirement, and the industry estimate reported when the bill passed is that this cuts the cost of a manufactured home by $5,000 to $10,000. If you're 65 and thinking about downsizing, that is real money off the least expensive path to owning a home in this country. But here's the piece for people who already own one. The law also reauthorizes the Price Grant Program. That's federal money specifically for repairing, preserving, and improving existing manufactured homes and manufactured home communities. If you live in an older mobile home with a sagging floor or a failing roof, price money flows to states and communities exactly for that. The common mistake here is mental, and it's expensive. Seniors hear manufactured home and picture the flimsy trailers of the 1970s, so they never even price one. Today's units are built to a federal HUD code, and Congress just spent political capital making them cheaper and easier to finance. That tells you where affordable senior housing is heading. Your action. If downsizing is anywhere on your radar in the next 2 years, get a price on a manufactured home in a resident-owned community before you commit to anything else. And if you already own one, ask your state housing agency when the new round of price funding opens. The difference between asking and not asking can be 5 figures. Number 3. The $100,000 mortgage banks always refuse to write. Here's a problem almost nobody talks about. Banks hate small mortgages. The paperwork costs them the same, whether the loan is $100,000 or $500,000, so they chase the big ones. And the retiree trying to buy a $95,000 condo or a small house near the grandkids gets told no, or gets pushed into cash. The new law directly attacks this. It authorizes a pilot program for small dollar mortgages with balances of $100,000 or less. That is aimed squarely at the homes seniors actually buy when they downsize. Think about the math of a typical downsize. Sell the family house, put most of the proceeds into savings, and finance a small piece of the next home instead of draining your cushion. Without a small mortgage available, seniors do the dangerous thing. They empty their emergency savings to buy in cash, and then one medical bill later, they're borrowing at credit card rates. That's the trap this pilot exists to close. The mistake to avoid, assuming your regular bank will mention this. Pilot programs launch through specific FHA lenders, and a loan officer who doesn't offer it will simply tell you nothing exists. So if you're planning to buy a modest home, ask lenders directly, do you participate in the new federal small dollar mortgage pilot? Ask 2 or 3, not 1. And keep number 6 in the back of your mind while we go, because the rent money you think just disappears every month may be the most valuable thing in this entire law. Number 4. Renters finally got referees. If you rent a house from a giant corporate landlord, the kind that owns thousands of homes, raises rent by certificate mail, and never answers the phone, this law drew a line. Institutional investors that own at least 350 single-family homes are now prohibited from buying more single-family homes, with only narrow exceptions. Congress did that because those companies were outbidding regular families and retirees in entire neighborhoods, then turning the same houses into rentals with rising rents. Fewer corporate buyers means less pressure on the price of the small homes seniors buy and rent. Second piece, the law creates a renter outreach resource specifically to help tenants of these large institutional landlords navigate disputes, repairs that never happen, fees that appear from nowhere, deposits that never come back. And third, for rural renters, the law restructures USDA rural housing so that rental assistance no longer dies when a property's old mortgage matures, a fix that preserves affordable rents for roughly 400,000 rural residents, many of them seniors on fixed incomes who had no idea their building subsidy had an expiration date. And if you're a senior selling a home, the investor cap works for you too. Fewer all-cash corporate buyers bidding against the young family or the downsizing retiree means your sale is likelier to go to a real neighbor, and your old neighborhood is likelier to hold its value. The mistake renters make is not knowing who actually owns their home. Look up your address in your county property records this week. It's free and takes 10 minutes. If the owner is an LLC tied to a large investor, save every repair request in writing starting now. Because when that federal outreach resource stands up, the tenants with paper trails are the ones who win disputes. Number 5. Your house can start paying you. The law expands financing for accessory dwelling units, what most people call granny flats, a small backyard cottage, a garage conversion, an in-law suite with its own door. Until now, the biggest barrier wasn't zoning in most places. It was money, because banks had no clean way to lend against a unit that didn't exist yet. Expanded ADU financing changes that equation. Now run the numbers on what this means for a senior with a paid-off house. Rent that backyard unit at $900 a month, and that's $10,800 a year of income on top of Social Security, income that arrives every month without selling the home or touching a reverse mortgage. Or flip it around. You move into the smaller unit, rent out the main house for more, and live on the difference. Or the family version. Your daughter or a caregiver lives 30 feet away instead of 30 minutes, which is the difference between aging at home and a $5,000 a month facility. Even a modest garage conversion changes the math. If the build costs $60,000 financed under the new rules and the unit rents for $900, the rent covers the loan payment and the equity lands in your estate, not a landlord's. The mistake that burns people here: building first and asking questions later. An unpermitted ADU can't be legally rented, can tangle your homeowner's insurance, and can surface as a nasty problem when the house is sold. So the order matters. City zoning office first, then a lender about the new ADU financing, then a contractor. If your kids have been asking how you'll manage the house long term, this is the conversation to have at the kitchen table this month. And number 6, the one people get backwards. Most renters, especially seniors, believe two things: rent is dead money and only debt builds credit. Both are now officially wrong. Under the new law, homeownership programs provide for positive rental payment reporting, meaning your landlord reports your on-time rent to the consumer reporting agencies, and every month you pay becomes evidence in your credit file. It is opt-in. Nothing happens unless you say yes. Now, why should a 70-year-old care about a credit score? Because your score follows you everywhere money moves. What you pay for car insurance in most states, whether a senior apartment approves your application, the deposit a utility company demands, the rate on a car loan. Run one example. On a $20,000 car loan over 5 years, the difference between a fair score and a good score can easily be a couple of points of interest. That's more than $1,000 out of the same pocket that pays your rent. And here's the group this helps most: seniors with a paid-off past, no mortgage, no car loan, credit cards closed years ago. The credit system calls that a thin file, and a thin file gets treated almost as badly as a bad one. Seniors who rented for decades and paid like clockwork have been invisible to the credit system the entire time. This finally makes those payments count. The one bill you were paying anyway becomes the record that proves you're reliable. One honest warning, and it matters. Only opt in if your rent is genuinely paid on time. Reporting cuts both ways, and a late month in the file hurts you. If you pay on the first, every first, put the request to your landlord in writing this week. I want to opt in to positive rent reporting under the new housing law. So here's the truth that ties all 6 together. This law doesn't mail checks, it pays the people who pick up the phone. Your one action step this week: call your state housing agency and ask which of these programs is live in your area, starting with home repair. Subscribe so you hear the deadlines in time, and share this with someone over 65 who pays rent.